Hey, I'm Amy. I'm a dual pilgrim and completed the Kumano Kodo Japanese pilgrimage in spring. When I first started looking into doing these walks, I was looking for someone who had done it and could show me all the ways on how to book everything, particularly the Camino Kodo. So I am being the person that I needed, and I am going to share with you how to choose the right accommodation for you and everything that I learned along the way. So this is accommodation options along the Camino Kodo. Japan is very strict when it comes to accommodation types along the Kumano Kodo. The trail is UNESCO Heritage listed, so it's quite a protected track. So following the right directions and options that they have available for the walk is really, really important. So there's 4 main options when it comes to accommodation on the Kumano Kodo. There's camping, hotels, hostels, and the full Japanese experience, and staying like in the Japanese accommodation style. I've tried all of them, and in this video I'm going to break down what they are, like, and break down what they were like, my criteria for them, and like how to best choose the option for you. In the next video, I'm going to talk about how to choose the right route and also how to exactly book everything. So within my accommodation criteria, what I weigh up in each of these different accommodation types is 4 things: affordability, the Japanese experience, comfortability, and services. So those are what I'm going to be rating those accommodation types against. And the first option is camping. Camping, by far the most affordable option and definitely the easiest, low effort in terms of planning. There is only 3 campsites along the whole Kumano Kodo. In Koguchi, one in Kawaii, which is near Yonomen and Gutaisha, and there is one in Chikatsu. Now these are only 3 campsites along the whole Kumano Kodo. You need to book accommodations in Tanabe and at Katsura at the very end. It's a great option if you already have your own camping gear, because only 1 out of the 3 camping sites offer gear. So you really have to either buy or bring your own camping gear. A great option is to buy it while you're in Osaka. A shop called Montbell sorts you out for everything. However, if needing to hire gear, it's not a great option for you. And also the luggage services that are offered throughout the whole track, they don't offer that service for campers, and they don't deliver to each of the campsites. So that's something to be really mindful of, that you have to bring all of your own gear and carry it with you the entire trek. They range from about 1,000 to 2,000 yen, which is around 10 to 20 Australian dollars. Very affordable. In terms of the Japanese experience, it was an awesome option because a lot of Japanese people were actually doing this walk too, and they camp a lot of the way. All of the people who run each of the campsites are so invested in having people there, and they really genuinely care and want to make sure your experience is a great time too. In terms of getting that full Japanese experience, you do have to cook for yourself, so it's not like you're eating Japanese food unless you're cooking it, but you do get to visit a lot of the local restaurants that you probably wouldn't if you were staying with the Japanese family. So in that sense, it's definitely, you get quite immersed, and you really do get a good taste of the Japanese nature when you're staying in it, from swimming in the streams to just being out in the nature. Like, it's just something pretty magic about that. In terms of services, they don't really have a lot of services at each of the campsites. In terms of cooking, generally it's like a sink and you've got like a little place to have fire, and then you cook across the fire. And they do offer a few little services, like they have a kettle, really serve food. They do have an onsen and some nice bathrooms, and the campsite's right next to a river, which is super beautiful. A lot of people go fishing there. There are like little lodges there too, which you can hire out, although you do have to book in advance for those ones. And comfortability. So I brought all of my own gear with me, so I love my tent, I love my mat. Like, it was a super comfortable stay. At Chikatsu, this beautiful spot is quite tricky to get to and isn't the one that attached to Google Maps. It takes you to a completely different location, although there is a cafe who you can pop into and they'll redirect you on the right way, which is what I had to do. At Kauai, there are no showers at all. There are some toilets, but there's no showers. It does back on to like the Kauai River, which is beautiful, and you can go swimming in there. Down the road in Kauai, like the center, there are some hotels that offer the onsens and the showers to the public, which you can go to, and they're That river is naturally heated by geothermal energy under the Earth's surface. So if you dig a little hole underneath the sand and rocks, the water becomes naturally warm. It's like a little warm area where you can have like a warm bath, although I would recommend, if you wanted to do that, then pop into the onsens inside and have a nice shower from there. And then Koguchi, and also backed right onto a river, which I went swimming into. Next, I tried hotels. I actually started my trip in a hotel. Booked this super late last minute because a lot of my plans had changed because of weather and I was sick. So I stayed at the Kauai Hotel, and it was a Western style hotel where it had Western bathrooms and it had 2 normal Western beds. In terms of my criteria, the Japanese experience, although it did have the Japanese onsens, it wasn't quite an enriching Japanese experience. I wouldn't have thought I was in Japan if it wasn't for the fact that I visited the onsens. It did feel very Western, at home, comfortable. In terms of affordability, it was definitely the cheapest option of hotels in that area, although the hotels were stunning. A lot of them were right on the river and had beautiful Japanese onsens and restaurants attached to them. You know, you get all the shampoos and soaps as you would normally get when you visit a hotel. But it's definitely not the deepest Japanese experience you could have while on the Kumano Kodo.